Hollywood is far to the south, but movies were made in Marin and Sonoma counties long before there was a Hollywood. The two counties gave the world the original brave and bashful cowboy epics, the invention of color motion pictures, Indiana Jones, Lassie, Jurassic Park's T-Rex, The Birds, and The Force. May it still be with you. In 1898, before Hollywood was even an orange grove, Thomas Edison came to the crookedest railroad in the world, located on Marin's Mount Tamalpais, and made this movie of the wild ride down the mountain. In 1910, S&A Film Company settled in San Rafael. This company invented the Western horse operas and introduced the prototype of the brave and bashful American cowboy. In 40 films, Gilbert Anderson was noble Bronco Billy. Local residents were the bit players and extras. Local officials rented homes to the casts and crews. Local merchants and local hostelries prospered. But S&A, disillusioned by a $200 lawsuit filed by a local homeowner, eventually moved across the bay to a town called Niles. In 1912, S&A's place was taken by the California Motion Picture Corporation. This movie company built a studio in San Rafael and made films in the area, including Mrs. Wings of the Cabbage Patch, Mignon, The Woman Who Dared, and many others. A Marin seminary played a castle in this romantic scene from Faust, and this grotto in the garden of San Rafael's Dominican convent was a setting for the same film. San Rafael's greatest film legacy was Cupid Angling, history's very first motion picture made in full color. Not hand-tinted on the film negative, but by a film color process invented by Leon Douglas, who lived in San Rafael. Hollywood moguls sneered that color would take attention away from the plot. Douglas also invented the flat phonograph record. He named the company he founded after his wife, Victoria, and he called the product Victrola. A technical genius, Douglas made many other contributions to motion picture and sound recording technology. Most of the pictures and stories you are seeing come from Lionel Ashcroft's excellent book on Marin film history, published by the Marin County Historical Society. In the decades that followed these early films, Hollywood came north to utilize the filmable scenery and towns of Marin and Sonoma counties. Every expert in Star Trek trivia can tell you that the Starfleet headquarters are on the Marin shore of the Golden Gate. Mill Valley was the terrified town in Night of the Living Dead. Futuristic films Gattaca and THX 1138 were filmed in the Marin County Civic Center. Sonoma County became France for the World War II TV series Combat, and even Lassie's home was here. Fairfax is seen in parts of Indiana Jones films. Sonoma and Marin locations dominated scores of films, including Hitchcock's horror masterpiece, The Birds, Basic Instinct, The Egg and I, Finian's Rainbow, Homeward Bound, Lolita, Planet of the Apes, Peggy Sue Got Married, The Candidate, Flubber, and American Graffiti. This very theater was seen in the cruising scene of American Graffiti, a film directed by young George Lucas. He liked the area so much that he made Marin County the home of Lucasfilms. Since then, a fountain of creativity has poured forth from his headquarters here at Skywalker Ranch, hidden in the Marin Hills. And the galaxy far, far away of the Star Wars series was depicted by many locations in Marin and Sonoma counties. At the Lucas-owned Industrial Light and Magic, more talented people who live in the two counties create technical innovations and special effects for films. At Lucas-owned Skywalker Sound, Gary Summers of Petaluma alone has won 4 Academy Awards. The entire Lucas crew has garnered more than 30 Oscars for amazing the world. And let's not forget the award won by Sonoma County resident John Lasseter for Toy Story, the world's first computer-animated feature film. Back to the Raffel Theater. Beautifully restored by the Film Institute of Northern California, it is now the Raffel Film Center. Ann Brebner, who earlier founded a famous talent agency, was in charge of the restoration.
This theater used to show movies in 1918. It partially burned in 1937, and it reopened in 1938, advertised as an Art Deco palace. It fell into disuse in the late 80s, and the Film Institute of Northern California acquired it in 1995 and opened it this year in 1999. We have 3 theaters in this beautiful building now. We're shooting in the biggest of them. There are 2 more. One is 130 seats and the other 80. Included among the films that we show here are art films from all over the world, a lot of independent films. We show documentaries, both major long documentaries and collections, sometimes of related short documentaries. We will do a whole program about, for instance, Alfred Hitchcock. It'll be a week. It would be old films, great musicals, beautiful black and white films. It's very eclectic. It brings all kinds of speakers, people who have been associated with the film or know a lot about it. So when people come here, they get more than just a passive sitting and listening to a film. They get to find out more than they would have known otherwise. The mission of the Film Institute of Northern California is to celebrate film as art, entertainment, and education. And that includes outreach to schools, special interest groups. And the other major function of the Film Institute is that it produces the Mill Valley Film Festival, which is now 22 years old.
The Mill Valley Film Festival is one of the great local legacies. It has international prestige. For more than 2 decades, it has brought the world's finest actors, directors, and other filmmakers to town and presented their finest works. Films that have gone on after the festival to artistic and commercial success include Stand and Deliver, Longtime Companion, Shine, Secrets and Lies, Bullets Over Broadway, The Piano, Cinema Paradiso, My Left Foot, On Golden Pond. Annual tributes are given to outstanding film creators such as Barry Levinson, Alan Arkin, John Frankenheimer, Robert Altman, Peter Weir, Jean Moreau, and Robin Williams, who grew up in Mill Valley. Seen here in a minor role of a College of Marin student production. These creative films and filmmakers have a creative audience of more than 40,000 at the annual Fall Festival. Showings sell out months in advance. A tradition has been born of standing in line at the festival, an ongoing, happy party affair.
Is this not your first festival, right?
Right. Yeah, this is our second.
Your second festival. Mm-hmm. Okay. How many films are you going to see this time?
Well, today we're seeing 5. Tomorrow we're seeing 4. I think total will probably add up to about 20 by the end of it. Yeah.
Give me 2 good reasons why this festival is better than Sundance.
Well, for one, it's here.
It's here.
And it's easy to get into it's easy to get tickets. It's easy to get around.
And even park.
And even park, yeah. Well, see, we're local, so we know all the hiding places, which we're not going to tell anybody else.
Well, you better not. Okay, thank you very much.
Sure.
Is this your first year at the Mill Valley Festival?
No.
How many years you been coming?
About 10 or 12.
Many.
10 or 12.
10 or 12, right.
How many films are you going to see this time?
14.
What's the biggest real 14? Wow.
14. In 10 days.
In 10 days. What's the biggest thrill you ever had at the festival?
Meeting Jeffrey Rush.
Yes.
Meeting Jeffrey?
2 years ago, he was in
Shine.
Yeah, and you met him here at the festival.
did.
Met him here,
Right.
got to talk to him and ask questions afterwards.
He was
He was
wonderful.
terrific.
Okay, I want to talk to the diners here. Hi, you okay? Hi there. Is this your first Mill Valley Film Festival? No. How many years have you been coming?
Oh, this is about the third or fourth.
At the 34th year? What's the greatest moment you ever had at a Mill Valley Film Festival?
I think it's just the general aura of it all. You know, people are excited, and it's fun if there's a director or a star. It's just a nice atmosphere.
Have you ever seen any stars? Last night. What'd you see last night?
We saw
Ichigansen or something like that. We don't know how to pronounce it. Ichigansen, a Japanese.
Oh, yes, right.
and the star, the
the
male
male star. Was
The male star of that.
as well as the director.
Let me tell you, we're not collecting that every year.
We do indeed, and have for many years.
What's the most exciting moment you can remember ever at the film festival?
Let's see. That's really very difficult. I don't think there's an exciting moment. I think it's the ambiance of the whole event. It's being in Mill Valley, it's the weather, it's the place, it's all the people. There's no specific moment. Some of the movies are good, some of the movies are not so good.
Actually,
but the event is wonderful.
The most exciting moment was the night we forgot the tickets. That was very exciting.
Citizens of Mill Valley expressed themselves in this delightful trailer that advertised the festival in San Francisco Bay Area theaters.
Once a year, the eyes of the international film community turn to the tiny town of Mill Valley, California, and its glorious cinematic celebration.
Of course, we had the debut of Paris, Texas last year, and that was very nice.
That was very nice. Very nice.
I guess we're all looking forward to the film noir retrospective. Yeah, we like that deep focus. Well, there's a surface to the genre that, if anything, improves with age.
They're bringing back that Jane Russell movie, Hot Blood.
Ellen and Bob want an answer about the Video Fest. Are we going or not?
Aaron says that the recent New Zealand films are better than the French New Wave.
I did not. I just said they were reminiscent.
That's stupid, Daddy. Where's their Truffaut? Where's their Godard?
Rich?
We are going to see the premiere of a Axel Wexler film, Latino. We are Axel Wexler's fans from way back. Medium cool.
That Wim Wenders is such a nice young director. There should be more like him.
So, am I going to see you at the premiere of that new Paul Schrader film?
Mishima?
Yeah.
No, I can't. My dad's taking us to Africa.
Well, can't you get out of it?
I was telling Morris, get this. We got this world premiere of Joseph Papp's new film starring Meryl Streep and John Gielgud. And he says, who's Joseph Papp?
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't know how the guy ever made Sergeant.
Of course, Eisenstein really wrote the book on film cutting. Everything since has more or less been a footnote. But some footnotes are more interesting than others. This year, we're having a panel of discussion with some of the best editors in the business. Marshall Lucas, Bob Dalva, Michael Chandler, Tom Sanford.
So God's up in heaven. He looks down at his calendar and he sees the end of the world is coming up. And he decides that somebody should film it, right? So he has St. Peter go down and shop the property for a director. St. Peter comes back and says he can't find a director. And God says, well, what about Lucas? And St. Peter says, he won't do it. He'll produce it, but he won't direct it. That's no good, God says. Well, how about Spielberg? He can't do it. It's something to do with his contract. Well, how about Coppola, says St. Peter. God says, Coppola, I gotta make a profit on this thing.